Hey guys, it's aim.to.plan, and today we are doing day 7 of December Daily. Okay, so what you see here obviously is my December Daily, and what I've got here is basically the first couple of pages for my December, including this one, which was yesterday's video on the 6th. And this particular page, as I mentioned in the previous video, is set up where there is blank space behind it. So I'm moving a couple of things out. You have a little bit of a sneak into what we're doing here. But this page right here is blank. And so I'll be working on this page and then adding another page here. And it will look kind of like this. I'm thinking it'll be kind of like a triple spread kind of laid out here. And so let me go ahead and show you what I've got first of all. So the very first thing here is this advent calendar. It's not even an advent calendar. This is My Little Pony. It's a collection of molded figures of the main 6, and you can see that there are 2 that are missing already, so there's still 4 in here. But this box is part of Sophia's advent calendar for the year. So she is receiving a figure once every 4 days, and then these pieces right here are like little chipboard pieces. I'm going to have to like pry those up, and I'll do that later. And then I decided, sorry that's so noisy, that this backing would be really nice as like to be able to cut it down and kind of use it as part of my spread for today. Then the other part of the advent calendar for Sophia is this My Little Pony in 18 pieces. And it's nail polish. And again, we've already been doing this, so you can see that a lot of the bottles are missing. And so I basically, for her advent calendar, do three nail polishes and then a figurine. And so that's what I do for that. And so obviously I don't need these pieces themselves, but I have this piece, which is this holographic foil, and then this piece. And I'm going to try to do something with these 2 pieces as like the backing for the project. And now, obviously the story here is about Sophia's advent calendar, and I want to be able to put something down where I am going to be laying down these pieces and creating a banner where it is kind of like hanging and looks a little bit like a banner. I mean, I guess it makes sense once you see it visually, I think. And so I have this, and really what I'm going to do now is start cutting some of this stuff down and putting together my pieces. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a couple of extra pieces of cardboard in case I need that. And then I also am digging out of my box my other advent calendar, and I mentioned that it's Sophia's advent calendar, but it's all the advent calendars that we're doing for this year. And so Sophia gets her own little My Little Pony advent calendar, but I am doing an advent calendar with my husband where we are drinking a half bottle of wine every day from the Costco advent wine calendar. And so there are these buttons right here, and I'm missing the 6. Here it is. And so what I'm going to do is punch a hole and like hang it and kind of create it to maybe look like Christmas ornaments, like hanging like from the ceiling, maybe not from the ceiling. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to think here, but like kind of stagger these. And on the back of these will be where I put the stories. And so the photos and things will go here. And I haven't even printed those out. I'm actually going to like wait until closer to the end to pick out like the best, like my favorite stories and my favorite photos to put back here. So that's the goal. And then the other thing that I've got is my Crocodile Power Punch, and I've never used this. It's not even open yet, but I am going to open it now, and I'm going to use this to punch through the cardboard. That's the goal here. So that is here for punching, and I don't even know how to use this. Okay, so I'll unlock it, and I'll be able to use this to kind of punch through it. And just to test it out, I don't even know how to use it. Okay, I maybe should read the instructions, but I haven't done that yet. Okay, so I assume fit it in here. Okay, it works. All right, and it punches like that, and I should be able to slip it onto the rings. Now that cut through on that side, but on this corrugated side where it's less flattened, it was a little bit harder. Okay, so I'll have to remember that as I'm moving forward. Okay, so that's the project. Now, what I'm thinking of doing first is breaking down this box. If you're a fan of My Little Pony, by the way, just let me know if there are other gifts that you have really been giving. The advent calendar for me was like just kind of like more of a stocking stuffer kind of thing. I was just thinking it would be fun for her to have the nail polish, but she was getting kind of upset. She was like, no, I just want like figurines. So that was a disappointment for me. Okay, so I said I was gonna do 3, but this piece is just not long enough, and I think I just want to make it a rainbow and just call it a day. And so what I'm going to do is actually use this as a guide, and I'm going to use this sheet of paper as a guide, and I'm going to draw it first. Now, I've never done anything like this, so this might be just a mess altogether, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so pencil or something to write with, writing instrument. I'm just going to use a pen because that was the first thing I put my hands on. And I'm using the back of this picture just because if I accidentally like draw on like have my hand shake or something like that, it will draw on the white, which is going to be covered up with this cardboard anyway. All right, that's the line, and then what I'm going to do is go off camera and cut this with my guillotine. Okay, so that piece is done. And it has these fold outs, but I actually think that will work. I don't know. Again, I have never done this, so I actually have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm thinking maybe now that I've cut it down, it is a little bit, like I'm going to cut this edge off as well. Okay, so it's a little bit shorter than the rings, but that's totally okay. What I'm thinking is I will fold this in half, and then I'll need to probably refold the sheet of paper just because it's now a little bit thicker and it won't fold completely flat. And then I'm going to hang or like punch holes to hang these as ornaments. And I won't be able to use all 6, I don't think, unless I want to. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so it'll be more like what's visually going to look the best. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm trying to think, should I go ahead and fold it? Because one of the things I could do is if I folded it here, I could string it here, and have it be like kind of like even within, hanging within space instead of punching multiple holes. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I need the other board, okay, to use as a measurement here. And I don't have, I wish I had a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, but I actually lost my X-Acto knife in a recent kind of clean out. So what I'm going to do is actually do this on, well, I have to actually do on the front because that's the side that I need to score. Okay, so what I'm going to do is very lightly score it with a pair of scissors, which this is very dangerous. I would not recommend this at home. And I'm just going to score it like this and hoping I don't poke through anything important, and bend it like that. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so that's done. And then what I'm gonna do is find some ribbon. I'm gonna punch 2 holes here and then string a ribbon, hopefully strong enough to hold all of these ornaments. All right, I found this. It's basically, I don't even know, like gift wrap ribbon. I don't even know what this is. Is this even ribbon? It is ribbon, I just don't know where it came from. Okay, so then what I'm gonna grab is my hole punch. All right, and again, I've never attempted anything like this, so this might be fun. All right, I actually should think about like how I'm going to like adhere this to the sheet of paper. I don't want it to like, oh, I'm glad I checked that because I actually need to score in the middle as well so this thing can fold. All right, so let me shift it up just a tiny bit so I can see my score line here, or at least the part where I'm scoring it. And then I'm going to put it here. And this is about as straight as I can make it. And let me check on this side. I'm offsetting it a little bit, as you can see, just so I can measure. And that's pretty close. All right, and I scored it a couple of times on this other side, so I'm going to do the same thing here and be able to fold it in half. Okay, now let me test this out, because I need it to be able to fold all the way like this and to be able to fold like that. Okay, that actually works. It pops open, as you can see there. So I'll need like a clip or something to like hold it together. But that does actually work. Okay, so, and I didn't need to rescore because of the hinge that I did put here. Okay, so that actually works out. Okay, great. So now what I'm gonna do, now that I've like kind of created this piece, I'm going to punch a couple of holes. And I think now that I'm looking at it, I want to punch like a hole here, 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 and here. Let me see. Okay. And then I'm going to use the ribbon, and I'm going to string it through. All right, I'm going to string it through this way first, and then I'll come back for another loop right here in the middle. Okay, so these first two, let me see, how much of a hang do I want? Like maybe something like that. Okay, and then this side, I'm pulling it through right here. I don't need that much of a gap. Okay, and then this side, I want to be about the same. You know, I'm not really loving that. I want it to be like one long one, so I'm going to take that out and just string it as like one big one here, like this. So when it hangs, it kind of hangs like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tape this down. Let me tape this down first. And then it will be somewhere slightly lower. It has to be a little bit lower, because if I'm hanging this second, cut it there. Tape it. I can always adjust this. This is not a done deal. All right, but I'll have it here. I don't plan to hang anything super low. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. All right, let me string here. I might not use all of these holes either, so I might have just punched these for absolutely no reason. But again, let me tape this down on this side. So that's like this, and this is like this. Okay. And now that I've done this, I did tape it down, but honestly, I do want the ornaments to be strung on the string. And so I will be untaping it just so that way I can like string it through and have the ornaments in here. Now, these are the ornaments. Now I lost one. Let me move this out of the way. Here it is. Okay, so I have these. Again, I don't have to use all of them, but I do want to use them in order if I am using them. And so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll put that there. And then I also wanted to, let me try to find the box. I wanted to cut out like this little shape right here and this little shape right here, just to kind of give like the front of the ornament, or like the ornaments that are hanging, to have some kind of at least shout out to My Little Pony, since that's mostly what the story is going to be about, is My Little Pony. So I'm cutting out this piece as well, and then I'm just going to cut around it. And the back of these shapes will be the spot where I tell the story, or just kind of trim this a little bit more. It's kind of a... Alright, so that will be where I tell the story or put the photo. Photos for me will be a little bit easier on the circles, just because I can measure the circle and like print out a photo with that circular shape. And I can peel some of this off. Okay, so I want to cut that. All right. But these like kind of weirder shapes where I'm kind of like cutting around, I shouldn't have trimmed off that one little white edge. Whoops. Will be a little bit harder for me to match a story on, and unless I like print out the story and then cut out the story into like little pieces and kind of tape it down, which is possible as well. But I might just journal on the back by hand. And in fact, I should have probably, before I cut it this go around, like go ahead and put something on the back, so that way I wouldn't have to cut it twice. So, all right. So yeah, that's pretty ugly, like on that side. So what I'm gonna do is pull this right here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it on here. Again, breaking out the crazy glue here to get this done. I'm going to use this. This is my photo. I'll eventually glue all of this down on here, so unless I accidentally fold it over, it should be okay for the glue to be on that. Okay, so let me put this down here. Oh, wrong way. All right, I need it the other way. Okay, so glue once more. Okay, and then let me get my My Little Pony. I'll pull off this little edge. Scissors. Okay, and then I'm gonna trim this little piece too. And then I will glue this down as well. And then the back is this shiny piece. I'm realizing I saved the licensing info. That's okay. Trimming it one more time. Now, with all this cutting, I can tell you that really I could match this shape on my silhouette, but I haven't been using my silhouette as much, and I definitely haven't done it for any of the December daily stuff, so I just haven't pulled it out to use for these paper projects, paper crafting projects, scrapbooking, or anything like that. So I don't know. It's just been a lot more fun to be a little bit more hands-on with it rather than letting the silhouette kind of do it. So I am just gonna cut around it by hand instead of, you know, tracing it and like making a cut and like allowing the machine to cut this shape. But you can certainly do that on the silhouette. It's just like copy the shape, you know, get rid of what you don't need, trace it, get rid of what you don't need, mirror the image so that way it cuts the right way. Or actually you don't need to mirror it here because you could just really flip the sheet of paper on your mat and then have it cut off the shape for you. All right, so that's one of them. Oh, that's so nice, and it looks like that. Ooh, I really hate the logo, the licensing right there, but that's okay. And then this one I didn't trim out yet, so this will be completely aligned, I hope, instead of having like some weird edges. I need a better pair of scissors too. Add that to the Christmas wish list, right? There's so many things that I want to have for paper crafting and my planners and scrapbooks, December daily albums that I just don't have. And I don't want to, you know, invest in any more product, especially when I have all of this stuff already. So goal here is to use what I have and to kind of do my own thing. All the videos that I've been watching have just been so great, and I love being able to watch all these videos. But I also don't want to get into the mindset, especially going into 2021, of like trying to buy everything and taking, you know, all the supplies that I already have and just putting it to the side. You know, I want to be able to use my supplies, which was my goal for 2020 too. Is just use what I have, and I just kind of fell off of doing that. For a little bit there. Okay, so let me clean up a little bit. A lot of a mess here. So as I clean all this up, dump this down here. Okay, now with all that done, I'm going to now work on stringing this all on here. And for these are fairly thick. I actually trimmed some of these, but I didn't trim some others. So they're kind of like wonky shapes. I mean, I literally did punch a hole through it, like poked it into itself in order to get to the wine inside. But what I'm gonna do is, I guess I'll do it a couple of ways and see which one I like better. All right, first, punching a hole, because regardless of which way I go, I'll need to have a spot. And I'm not worried about being centered or anything like that. Okay, so the first option is to use just tiny bits of this and just string it on. This will be cute if I had like other ribbon, but again, using up what I have, right, and having it like that. I'll definitely have to make it longer. Like this test run was no good. Like I couldn't even get it to stay on. Okay, so attempt number 2. Hello, my fingers aren't working today. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's not actually working out like that, and it's just not working out. So I'm going to instead untape it. In fact, I'll just, and string it on here. And what I'll have to do is, as I string this on here, I have to think about like what goes where. So let me do this first. Okay, so put a 1 up here, and I think a 1 up here. I'll put, sorry, a 2, and then it'll be 3 and 4. I think like that. That's actually really cute. The concern I have is this one's gonna hang really low. So let me do it like, maybe like this. Or maybe just 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. And so I'll need to string this one first and then kind of tape it down. Sorry, Pinkie Pie. All right, and then just kind of tape it down right here. Or maybe that didn't work. there has to be a better plan here. Maybe I can put a little bit of a knot in there. Let me see. If I had twine, this would work a lot better, because the issue is that this is ribbon, you know, and so it's not meant to be used in this way. All right, but I'm just gonna double loop in it in there, and that should work. Okay, so next one was my 3. Okay, so punching a hole. Same method here. I might, after I do all this, if I'm thinking the ribbon is just too much, I will go back and like try to find some twine. I feel like I have twine somewhere in my house. I feel like I have it, but like just for the sake of like getting this project at least semi done, I'm gonna do it this way and just see what it looks like once I get done with it. Right, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so then let me put it underneath like all these others. Okay. Last one is this number 2. And this one, space-wise, is going to be fairly close to this edge. I need to move this one over a little bit. Just loosen it just a tiny bit so I can, right. I need a little bit more of a feed here. Okay, now that I've done all that, I made the string fairly short, so because of the double wrapping. But this is what it looks like when you fold it open. And that actually looks pretty good. I like that. Doesn't really work with the ribbon that well. Fixing some of the spacing issues here. It doesn't work with the ribbon that well, but I like the idea of just kind of twining it through, because it just like ornaments, right? You know, you have to place it where it goes, all right, on the tree. And this one can be loosened just a tiny bit. Oops, that was just not a tiny bit. That was a lot. Okay, so okay, so it looks like that. I actually really like that, and I like that once you kind of put it flat, it actually kind of all hangs together. I do wish that it was a little bit more of an overhang, so I'll probably lengthen the ribbon just to make it hang just a tiny bit more. Like I'm thinking more so I'll give it as much slack as possible here by like shifting the ribbon here to like the smallest amount possible to like hold it into its spot on both sides. Okay. This definitely could have been in the middle. Okay, so there are a couple of things I would fix about this, which I won't do right now. I just want to finish this so that way you can kind of see what the project looks like all together. And then let me do this top one. I'll do a final photo on this video just so you can see what it looks like. I'm not stringing it the same way. Flip it this way so I can see what I'm doing. How did I do that? Okay, in from the back, up, around, underneath. Okay. And I want this one to hang kind of in the middle. But it has to have enough slack so that way when I fold this this board in half into the book, that it has enough room to not sit right on the score lines here. So I have to give it a lot more slack, I think. Okay, so let me go fix these issues. All right, this is the first go round of it, the first attempt of it, but it won't, oh, it actually folds. It actually does fold. All right, but I still want to fix it. So let me go and grab a couple of other supplies. Okay, I found some hemp cord, which I've never opened or used, clearly. And so I'm going to use this instead because I think this will work a lot better for what I'm imagining here. Okay, there was probably a better way of just doing that, but I just unraveled the entire thing and I don't know where it starts now. Let's see. Beginning, beginning, beginning. Again, like I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let me untape all of this and kind of start over. Right. Right, that's one. Okay, and this is the top line. Let me take that off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give it about double the slack just so I can adjust it. Oops. Just so I can adjust it. So what I'm going to do is string it through and just stretch it all the way to the bottom, or like, not bottom, like right here midway, and tape it. That should give me enough slack, I feel like, for the entire board. All right, and then I need to consider what I'm stringing here. I'll do like that, and I'll double back to about here, and this is where I'll trim it. And again, just putting it through. Actually, no, let me go ahead and put my ornament on here. I'll do the same technique that I was doing before. In, around, and kind of hanging it like that. And then taping this one down. I'm reusing these pieces of tape just as a temporary kind of solution here. All right, so then on this side, same thing. All the way down, or midway, somewhere in that range. Okay, and then thinking about stringing it kind of like this, and then doubling back to about down here, just to give myself enough slack again. Right, and then just taping this down. Well, no, not taping it down. Putting on my ornaments. Now, when I strung it the first time, I wanted this one to be on the middle. So what I'm gonna do is actually put the two My Little Pony ornaments. I'm calling them ornaments, but you know what I'm talking about. I'll put those on the outside. On the inside, and then the two little Costco buttons on the ends. So we'll do 3 right around here. Maybe a little bit higher. Right here. And again, I'm just kind of loosely doing this right now. Then here. Already this hemp cord looks so much better. And I'm seeing that I'll have to go back and tie it. But again, like, let's just get the placement and see if this looks good. Or if this idea is just like a fail altogether. Okay, so this one's a little bit higher, but I like that. All right, let me just go ahead and tape this so I can kind of play with the placement here. Okay, as I sit this up, right, this one can go a little bit higher so that way it's not like touching. That one's weighted a little bit more, so it like kind of like hangs down just a tiniest little bit. In terms of weight, so I think that just needs a little bit more reinforcement somehow. The best way of doing that is probably to like hook this on this side, but I just can't do that. This one needs to go up a little bit, so let's put this one up right about here. I actually really like that. Okay, so this one kind of hangs like in the book. I don't think it will matter, but if I'm actually opening it up like it's like what I was envisioning, like you can kind of see that that doesn't, this one is like actually like barely right on the edge. But like if you're opening it inside a book, I think that looks okay. I think that looks okay. And in fact, I said that I needed to go back and like double knot it, but I'm probably just going to like hot glue it right here on the top, like right where the hemp cord is. Like just drop a dot of glue there is what I'm thinking. And all I have is hot glue. So that's what I'm thinking. I feel like it needs a little bit more give. I don't want to like drag it down a little bit. So that's the first thing. And then I'm gonna pull both sides of this up just a tiny bit. Let me do this side as well. Just maybe that will help a little bit with the slack. All right, yeah, I like that. And now like it's clearly swinging, like it's not brushing against the table, which means that it is doing okay. All right, so this one on the top is just a little bit like it's hanging a little bit into the bottom line. So I'm spacing it just a tiny bit so it sits by itself, right? And so that's what it looks like. Okay, and I mean here it works out better. I don't know if you can even tell, but it is hanging in kind of like ornament-ish, right? And then I will fold it in like this. Let me just double check that I need all of this slack. Okay, everything is working in terms of folding, and I'm trying to see if I need to worry about any of this taping. Okay, I think it's okay. And so what I'm gonna do now is trim off these edges. I'm gonna go back in and just like just run a bunch of tape down these cords, so that way they will in fact stay. And for right now, I'm not going to worry about hot gluing it. Again, that requires me pulling out some more tools. And you know what? Like, it's just done, you know? Done is better than perfect. And there's nothing wrong with it now. I just feel like it's kind of loose on the string. And, you know, it's kind of loose on the string. But maybe if I left it like that, I can just adjust it a little bit more and that might work out a little bit better. Okay, so now last thing is to glue it on here. In fact, I don't think I'm gonna glue it. I'm just worried about, like, this picture from yesterday is just paper, and I don't want the cardboard to like rip it, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and punch this side so that way it can sit on the rings. Where's my power punch? My new favorite tool. All right, it's somewhere in here. Here it is. I'm going to use this as alignment for what I'm doing here. This is actually probably not the best way of doing this. This is the better way of doing it. There we go. Just took me a while to get there, guys. Okay, and then what I'm supposed to be able to do is punch the first one, and then I can use the actual, let me just double check. It's exactly in the middle. Okay, I'm just double checking. And I'm using, there's like a little guide right on the top there that I'm using to like, all right. Now that I've got the first cut, like you can then place it in here and just cut it down using your spacer. I'm loving this thing. It cuts through this cardboard so easily, especially compared to the Happy Planner punch, which, you know, I love everything Happy Planner, except probably that punch. It is not industrial strength, let's just say that. Okay, that's perfect, I hope. And then what I'm gonna do is, again, like the stories and the journaling won't happen here, but the journaling will probably be on this side. And now that I've glued down this like holographic foil, I might use Sharpie and just write over it. But these three will be my top 3 photos. And I guess that's good that I went ahead and just used tape as a temporary kind of hold and didn't tape it down, because I won't be able to put the photos on here. Well, I guess I could do it and then cut it, but I want to be able to place the photos on there and then re-hole punch, restring it. And I'm just going to pick my 3 favorite photos from when Sophia got her gifts from the advent calendar. I already have one that I feel like is going to definitely be one of the top 3. But here the journaling will just be about like the advent calendars and how it's, you know, the Costco wine, which is a new thing for us. We just wanted to do that just because 2020. And then Sophia's addiction to My Little Pony, you know? So that's where those advent calendars came in to play. I'm going to fold it up. And this will go inside this. Actually, I need my number. What day are we even on? 7. Let me grab my 7. I just lost like the days, you know, they start blending in together after a while. So let me grab my 7. Okay, so here we go. And I'm actually just going to put it down here in this corner because I feel like, well, maybe I should put it over here. I don't know. Let me see. I like it over here better. It shows up better with the rainbow, so I'm just going to put it right there. And I'm going to, again, fold it up, right, and grab my December Daily album, 5, 6, okay. And I'm going to put it in here. Let me actually put it in one at a time. I'll put my picture back in first. And if it doesn't stay put inside here, which was really the goal, if it doesn't stay inside there, I'll like separate them. But the goal is to keep it in here, right? And then first time for the cardboard to go on the rings. Let me see how this works. Okay. And again, like it goes like this, or at least in theory, right? Is you get this page, and then when you open it up, you will get this page, and clearly they look like something on a string. So if you open it up, you'll see them kind of hang like that. How fun. And with the stories on there, it won't matter if it's flipped back or front. All right, that's perfect, or at least it's perfect in my eyes. Now you can see how it doesn't stay flat, and so I will eventually, once the stories get down, I will go back and probably either like print these photos again on cardstock or something a little bit heavier weight, so that way it doesn't rip, and then adhere it, or I don't know, like something else. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just clip all of this together like so. Ooh, this is like puffy town. All right, I'm feeling that is it's already like, all right, maybe I'll just have to leave it to be gaping open. Like this would have worked out better if I had like reinforced this side, but I didn't do that. Like I cut off the edge just to be a little bit shorter, and it just needs time to sit. All right, I'm just gonna leave the gem clip off because I feel like that would bend or warp some of the pieces, right? And it doesn't fall off this side. It will fall off this side. Like pieces will come out, so don't flip it upside down. All right. Oh my gosh, that took forever, I feel like, but probably it's about the same length of time as like all of my other videos. I don't even know. Like I never keep track of the time. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a little bit more like putting the pieces together. It doesn't look exactly how I envisioned it in my head, but it's good enough for the project that I had in my mind. And you know, some of this is just DIY. Not everything's gonna come up perfectly the way that I had imagined it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you are here for December daily videos, all of these videos are in a playlist that you can just watch through. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye.